Hey guys, this is Donnelly coming at you, and I want to make this video because I know I uploaded a video last night, and I'm gonna be losing a lot of subscribers because people are just thinking like I'm a whiner, this and that. But this is my story of what it's like dealing with depression, anxiety, loneliness, underemployment, unemployment, debt, and after having such high hopes after getting out of the military, pursuing a degree, going for a master's degree, and now I find myself more than likely, very highly probable that I'm going to end up going to a psych ward because I think the culmination of all these factors has pretty much caused me to reach pretty much a breaking point. And unfortunately, I am back to those feelings of having daily thoughts of suicidal ideation, thoughts of suicide, and I was doing good for like the past year as far as like not having those suicidal ideation thoughts. But here's the thing, this is why I have been trying to avoid retail like the plague, and hence why I've been going through this vocational readiness program through the VA to help me get skills where I can work a job that's not going to exacerbate my mental health. And so what's happening is I thought this job that I currently have was going to be more like admin, doing more stuff like fulfillment, but it turns out that it is actually regarded as one of the most highly customer facing interactive jobs, which unfortunately means I'm one of those people that people vent out their frustrations, get angry at you, hurry up, this is that, I am so PO'd at this place, I am hurry it up. And what that's doing is it's further degrading my mental health. It's exasperating my condition, and unfortunately, it has caused me over the past week and a half now to have daily thoughts of suicidal ideation, thoughts of suicide. And so I'm making this video because I want to share my story of what this of what constant underemployment, unemployment gaps, debt from a college degree that you've pretty much gotten no use out of, and depression, anxiety, and all these factors together. I'm sure there are other people out there who have had not so good outcomes because of a multitude of factors. Like they always say, like why does one resort to drug addiction? Or what's the cause of suicide? Well, they always say like mental health, but there are factors, and I am certain that poor mental health, debt, underemployment or unemployment are all serious contributors to why someone would want to take their own life. And I know a lot of you have mentioned like, oh, have you ever thought of starting a landscaping business? Or why don't you get into personal training or this and that? And I appreciate those suggestions, but because I'm single and one of my ways of coping is to live a very active lifestyle, but one that involves taking some risks. Like when I cycle, I could take a serious crash, I could break an ankle, twist a knee, break my back, be confined to a wheelchair, break an arm. And so I want to be able to have a job where if I get injured, I can still work. That is the goal. I want to have a job where if I'm injured, whether I'm going out there on a trail run and I get mauled by a cougar and I'm seriously injured and I break an ankle, that I can go to work the next day because if I take a job where I have to where I have to be like physically able and I get injured, I'm out of work. So it's like there are so many jobs out there that I can at least maybe it's like, and I know there's even some of you guys out there who are telling me just to give up, quit altogether, that I'm living in a unrealistic reality of trying to achieve my goal of becoming a data analyst. I mean, there are some people out there, I'm not going to say names, but they're just basically telling me it's not going to happen. And so, I mean, yes, there are other jobs like data entry, medical billing and coding. So something where I can kind of potentially work remotely, not rely on being physically able to do my job. So that way, when I go outside and do my free time things, I can take all the risk I want because that is my way of coping. Being single, not in a relationship, when I go out there and do a trail run or a cycle, I like to be able to take those risks. I like to be able to feel that adrenaline rush. I like to know that if I get hurt, if I have to go to the hospital, that I'll be able to wake up the next day and go to my job and be like, hey guys, yep, I'm in the hospital here, but okay, what's going on in today's meeting or what's doing that? So that's kind of where I'm trying to get to. Maybe it's going to be a long time before I get my dream job, but at least maybe something like data entry, medical billing and coding, or what else. I'm sure there's a lot of other options out there where I can get some steady income, and continue to really invest in my mental health. But I'm just kind of coming at you guys because this is what's happened is I feel like what I'm saying is the only thing my master's degree has led me to is my long walk to a psych ward. I mean that's, I mean it's sad to say, but I mean it's like I've gotten no use out of it. I've worked jobs that I've been trying to avoid pretty much like the plague, and now here I am. So I know it's like it's a bad thing to be talking about your work, but it's like obviously one's work can impact their mental health. And when you're working a job that's exasperating your mental health in a bad way, yeah, it's not very good. So yeah, I know I'm probably going to be losing a lot of subscribers because people are probably thinking, oh, this guy is never getting well. He's never going to achieve anything. He's going to be like this in the next 10 years. He's going to be like this in the next 20 years, and so forth. But I feel like if there's a message I can give to anyone out there is think before you choose your degree. I mean, please, for the love of God, make sure you do your research and choose a degree that fits your personality and fits your desires. Because otherwise, if you have any predisposing anxiety, depression, or any other issues, and you're going to end up struggling with debt, underemployment, unemployment, chances are you're not going to have a very good outcome. So I can't say that you might end up going to a psych ward, but in my experience, my degree is pretty much on its way to leading me on the long walk to hell, the psych ward. But maybe that's what I need. Maybe all these factors has caused me to get to a point where I need some inpatient treatment. Maybe go through like a re-entry program because I feel like I'm like uh, a convicted felon trying to navigate the job market. So maybe get some inpatient treatment. Get work with a social worker, go through like a re-entry program, and just kind of start from the bottom. Like treat myself as if I'm a convicted felon, starting out from scratch. Maybe that's what I need to do. So I know I'm kind of coming down at my lowest, but yep, all these factors have pretty much done their deed, and this is kind of where I've ended up is alone, sense of failure, shame. And to those who mentioned, go to the Philippines or go to Thailand or go to overseas. Well, a lot of men are going to the Philippines. A lot of men are going overseas. So once again, I mean, a Filipino or uh, a Colombian or Mexican I mean, they're going to want to go for the man that's well established. I mean, it's so going overseas and trying to find a love of my life is not going to work because all these other men are going overseas too. So yeah, it's like they're going to obviously pick the man who's got more success. So kind of come reverting back to this career thing. I know a lot of you are getting sick of hearing me about my career, but I just want to say that, yeah, I am more than likely going to be going to a psych ward so that way I can finally get the inpatient treatment I need and go through a re-entry program to navigate the job market for, as someone who's got a very spotty work history, if not horrendous one. So that's it for now, guys. But yeah, I appreciate for those of you who have stuck around and put up with my nonsense or my failures, but it is what it is. So that's my story on how these factors can influence one's mental health. Till next time, peace out.